Record.
Hi everyone, I'm Natashree and these are my group mates Raida, Kanita, Vasandra and Kashwini. We are going to present on hypersensitivity type 2 reaction.
Hi, my name is Kashwini. Today I'm going to talk about introduction, hypersensitivity type 2. Hypersensitivity is when the immune system overreacts to a harmless substance that enters or contacts the body. This response by the immune system can lead to a range of symptoms depending on the type of hypersensitivity reaction occurring. Hypersensitivity reaction can result from exposure to substances such as pollen, certain foods, medication, insects, strings. Individuals with hypersensitivity needs to identify and avoid the triggering substances to prevent reaction. Treatment may involve allergen avoid medication to reduce symptoms, and therapy in severe cases. Reactions typically develop between 2 and 24 hours. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Raida. The hypersensitivity type 2 refers to a reaction where the antibodies are directed against the cellular antigens and causing damage to the cell. Hypersensitivity 2 involve two types of antibody, which are IgG and IgM. Hypersensitivity 2, also called as antibody-mediated cytotoxicity, because a lot of disorder that caused by this type of hypersensitivity involve mediated destruction of healthy cells. That's all from me. Moving on to stimulants.
Hi everyone, I'm Natashree and I'll be explaining on the stimulant of type 2 hypersensitivity reaction. So, type 2 hypersensitivity reaction is an immune response in which host cells are damaged due to antibodies binding to cell surface. So, the most common cause of hypersensitivity is because of medications such as penicillin, thiazide, cephalosporin, and methyl dopa. These medication molecules bind to the cell surface, resulting in neoantigen, which also alters the epitopes of the existing cell antigen on the cell surface. This instructs the immune system to identify altered antigen and foreigns, leading to a reorientation of the molecule cell surface. Other than that, type 2 hypersensitivity can be caused by hemolytic disease of newborn. This is due to RH incompatibility between the fetus and mother. So the RH negative mother and RH positive fetus can affect and can cause type 2 hypersensitivity. The immune system of the mother produces antibodies against the RH positive fetus. The third stimulant is blood transfusion, which happens because of mismatched red blood cells. This can rapidly destroyed by specific antibodies and complement. Cell injury is often caused by opsonization and recruitment of inflammatory cells. The fourth one is autoimmune diseases such as Goodpasture syndrome, Graves' disease, and also autoimmune hemolytic anemia, which can trigger the type 2 hypersensitivity reaction. In Goodpasture syndrome, the antibodies are directed against collagen in glomerular and alveolar basement membranes. This antibody binds and the complement system is activated. As for in Graves' disease, the antibodies bind to thyrotropin and releases more thyroid hormone which secretes more than needed thyroid hormones. As in autoimmune hemolytic anemia, the antibodies are produced against its own red blood cell, which leads to their own destruction. The last one is type 2 hypersensitivity can be caused by misasthenia gravis. So for this, the antibodies are directed against the nicotine acetylcholine receptor, which does not allow the acetylcholine to bind to its receptor on the muscle. This also will lead to muscle weakness. Next, I would like us to Kanika.
So hi, my name is Kanita and I'll be talking about the mechanism part. So the key steps in the pathogenesis of type 2 hypersensitivity are antibodies, which are IgG and IgM, which was mentioned by Raida just now. These are produced against the antigens on the surface of host cells or in the extracellular matrix. These antibodies can actually cause damage, cell damage, through three main mechanisms, which is the first one is antibody binding to cell surface receptors and altering its activity. Secondly, the activation of the complement pathway. Third, antibody-dependent cellular cytotoxicity. The antibodies are generally specific to one type of tissue or organ, making the reaction tissue specific. Actually, there are two stages of hypersensitive, which is the effector phase and the sensitization phase. For the effector phase, target cells become coated with antibodies, which eventually leads to cellular destruction, as I said just now. Moving forward to the next one. I'll be talking about the antibody-dependent cell-mediated cytotoxicity. As you can see, it is also called as ADCC, which eosinophil, neutrophil, and a macrophage and NK cell are involved. Okay, ADCC is caused by IgG antibodies binding to Fc receptors, as you all can see, Fc receptors on effector cells such as macrophages and natural killer NK cells, as I mentioned just now. This interaction will cause cytotoxic granules containing perforin and glycemides to be released. The target cell then undergoes apoptosis as a result. Okay, for the ADCC, it involves three key steps, which the first one is complement activation. As I said here, antibodies attach to antigens to cell surface, which cause a complement system. Next, antibody-dependent cellular toxicity. Antibodies bound in antigens on cell surface complex in proximity to NK cells or other cells like Fc receptors. It will trigger ADCC, where these effector cells denature them. Lastly is the opsonization and phagocytosis. Antibodies binding to anti can mark the phagocytosis, which a process known as opsonization, where phagocytic cells engulf and destroy the target cells. That's all from me. Now I'll pass it to Sandra.
So, hi, madam. So, I would like to conclude our conclusion today. So, hypersensitivity is type 2, also known cytotoxin hypersensitivity, involves an antibody-mediated destruction of cells. In this reaction, IgG or IgM antibodies bind to antigen on their surface to target cells, leading to their destruction mechanism such as complement activation, antibody-dependent cellular uh, cytotoxicity, or phagocytosis. This type of hypersensitivity is responsible for conditions like hemolytic anemia, transfusion reaction, and certain autoimmune disease. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, that's all from us, and I think we will take a screenshot of our picture. Wait, I'll screenshot again. இரு, so வாங்கி விட்டுருக்குறேன்.